Okay. Welcome to the first episode segment of This Might Get Weird. And I have my very first guest. I'm so excited to chat with you about your project, Lisa Breanne. And please tell me all about this thing you are putting on in the Pacific Northwest.
Okay. So several years ago, I started working on it. We don't have a lot of big events on the West Coast in regards to books, unfortunately. So a lot of us have to travel to the East Coast or the Midwest to attend these things. And as fun as they are, it is expensive, it's tedious, and it's not so easy for all of us to get away, kids, jobs, things like that. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to try to get something going here, or at least talk to people. So I had spoken with and met up with John Cohn and Brian Asman, Angel Vanetta, talked to Mike Salt, Ari Sargent, all of us that are Pacific Northwesters, and on this coast about doing this. And it took me a while, and I visited so many venues. To find the best spot that was going to be not just like a hotel, but I wanted the guests to be able to do other things as well. So I just went around, and Timberline Lodge, where the exterior of the film The Shining was filmed, I visited them, and they were the first to jump on board and work within my budget and kind of make it happen. So I agreed when I met with them. And then of course I leave, with the meeting, and I'm like, oh my God, what have I done? So yeah, that was it just kind of escalated really quickly. Went from just, looking at venues, having the idea to, okay, I'm doing this.
So, was this your first kind of foray into like a big event planning, or have you done this before?
Um, With books, yes. I am a mortician by trade, so I've done a lot of funerals that
It's a
are
big event.
really big, and you have a lot of planning and things. I don't, nothing this complicated, no, where I've had to, navigate a bunch of things I wasn't familiar with, and talk to a bunch of different people. You want to make sure when you host something like this that you're representing the entire community doing it. And so that was something I took into consideration, along with entertainment and travel information for those coming from far away. Just all those little, I'm saying a lot, I'm sorry. Things like that.
So, Massacre on the Mountain in Oregon in September.
Yes.
And what sort of other things do you have happening besides the obvious book event? Or is that all kind of a secret until?
No. I wanted to keep, because it is just me. I'm the only one, I have kind of some help with little things, but because I'm kind of uptight. So to make sure that there was no miscommunication, everything stayed organized, I kind of just decided to keep it just me doing it. So that way nothing got screwed up. I want everyone to have a wonderful time and things to go smoothly. So I planned it simply. Friday the 25th is a exclusive screening of The Shining at the event for ticketed guests to come and watch the movie where it was filmed with the authors. And that'll be from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Friday the 25th. And afterwards, you can hang out. They have several restaurants, bars, areas to just relax, fireplaces. It's just such a beautiful venue, and so much to look at. You could be there for a week and not see everything. And then Saturday, the 26th, is the event from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. It's kind of a loose end time because it depends on how busy it is. They're really, really amazing at just going with the flow there. And so they said 6 p.m. So load in will be at about 9 a.m. to set up, between 8 and 9 a.m. to load in, set up, get ready. Doors open at 10 a.m. and we'll start kind of winding down around 5.
Okay. That's what do you think the crowd is going to be like? I know you've been selling tickets, and I think you're sold out of movie tickets, right?
I have currently like 5 of the movie tickets left. I was able to switch the location of where I didn't know there'd be so much interest in that. So the initial room that we were going to do it in at the venue was much smaller. And so I thought, oh, I'll have a certain amount, no big deal. And it ended up being a big deal because I had so many people message me that were really upset that they didn't get tickets and that they sold out so quickly. I think I sold out in 3 days of those ones. So I talked to the venue and I said, hey, my mistake. I didn't know that it was going to be such a popular thing to attend. So we moved. They were amazing. Oh my gosh. There was actually another party that had booked the ballroom for Friday, and they were wonderful. Timberline was wonderful, and they were able to switch them to that smaller room, and we got the ballroom for Friday as well to do it. So I was able to add on more tickets. So hopefully everybody that wants to attend can. I think there's 5 left. So that would make it 80 tickets altogether.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Like more than a movie theater, I think.
I know. I wasn't prepared. I was like, so now I know if I do this again that I've been writing lots of notes. So my house and walls look, like that scene, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, like that's conspiracy.
All the strings and yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I have so many notes and things tacked up and stuck up. And now I know for in the future to not underestimate.
Go bigger than what you think's necessary.
Yes, but tickets have been selling fantastic. I also was not expecting the popularity of it and how excited people would be. I am so grateful. Like I still not quite. It's just shock. Do you
think was your focus for this one? Obviously, it's a horror sort of book convention.
Yes.
Was the focus indie horror or was it just horror in general?
Indie horror primarily. I love trade. Obviously I grew up on trade. I didn't even know of indie horror until I was older, unfortunately. But once I joined the community right around 2019, I've just fell in love with it because the stories are so real and raw, and you don't have a bigger publisher coming in and kind of changing things to steer you towards multiple demographics. This is their story. This is their words. This is their thoughts, their ideas. And I just loved it. It felt so beautiful and honest. And I still love trade. I do read trade. I have some favorite authors that I've followed forever. But yeah, no, I started my first indie book ever was a Jim Odie, The Place That Never Existed. It was my first indie book I ever read, and I loved it. And then I got introduced to Nick Roberts when he first came out with Anathema in 2019, and that I was hooked at that point. So I have kind of solely focused on indie and how incredible all of these people are. My mind has been blown. I'm always so overwhelmed and blessed at how many friends I've made, how wonderful, supportive, funny, sweet, caring all of these people are, that I wanted to do something to bring attention to it.
Do you have other places planned in the future to do something similar?
I do. I have several. I would like, lofty goals. I would like to have 2 or 3 a year that are that gonna go, different times, like maybe summer and fall, early summer or spring, kind of depending on the weather of that area. But I have been in talks with the Queen Mary down in Long Beach, California. It's such a cool. I've toured it. It's such an incredible place. So the promenade deck. Hope I'm saying that right. I pronounce a lot of words wrong because I learned them by reading. And so, but I talked to them, and the deck there, it would be stellar. I could easily fit a large amount. They've been, when I first started talking to them, their event coordinator lost their job, unfortunately. So everything that I had gone through kind of ended, but I'm back in talks with them along with Winchester Mansion.
Okay.
The only downside to Winchester Mansion is they're very small.
Mm.
And it would be a much smaller event than Massacre on the Mountain or Massacre on the Queen Mary. So I'm kind of trying to figure out a way to make that work and be able to expand it, because there is a parking lot, large parking lot nearby, but then I lose the parking.
Yeah, that's a double-edged
So
sword.
I'm working with them. We're talking. I would like to do there, and then I've also been in contact with Waverly Hills, but that's in Kentucky. So I'd be traveling a lot to make that happen. And I know it's not West Coast, but it's such a cool venue. Like, it'd be a really cool place, right?
Yeah.
And I have an asylum up here that I've been taught. We hike around it. It's kind of like a nature park now, but it's an old asylum. You're probably familiar with it. Being from here, Northern State, until up in Cedar Lily. I would like to do it there as well, because I think that's really cool, and the area is just beautiful.
Are they open to hosting events there? It seems like
yes, I need a couple special permits, but luckily they're not expensive, and they like the idea of no one's ever used it for anything like that. So they kind of like the idea of bringing attention to it that way.
That's a really neat idea. I feel like you have a blooming business ahead of you of event planning.
I hope so. It would be really fun. Like, I love writing. I do. It's always been kind of a passion of mine, a way to vent, therapy, but promotion and advertising, reviewing is where my heart is. So being able to shine light on these incredible people and their stories is really where I want to be.
That's cool. You don't often hear that from most authors. Do not enjoy any sort of marketing or anything of that nature.
I'm under no preconceived ideas that, like, I would ever be a big, famous J.K. Rowling, oh yeah, no, not her. I was thinking big female authors, Danielle Steele. Ew, not her either. I'm not very good at this.
We just don't have good role models.
That was never, I kind of just write for me, I guess. And if people like it, that's fantastic. If you don't care. I don't really read my reviews unless I get tagged in them, because I feel like what you think of my writing is none of my business.
Cool. That's a wonderful outlook to have. I wish I could do that. I tell myself I don't care, but I do care a little. Like, that's hard.
I thought I would. I really thought, because I'm kind of sensitive, I thought I would. I read for Duncan Ralston is Dead. I read one of my reviews that was not very good, and I laughed so hard. She said that my MC was a alcoholic, and I go, yeah. She's like, you made it, like, I was like, I'm glad I made that clear. That was the point. She was an alcoholic. So the fact that shined through, but I got a less than stellar review from that, and I've gotten a couple others, but I just, it's not for everybody. If we all, read the same thing or had the same interests, entertainment wouldn't be very entertaining.
Right. That's the nice thing about indie work, is the definite variety.
Oh, yeah.
I think that the more traditional you go with your publishing, the less control you have over your weird ideas that you get to put.
Yes. Or there's some scenes, that you read that are graphic, and they're one that I always revert back to refer to regarding this womb. So to me, I mean, that is probably one of my big examples of indie horror on how it's your voice. It is your voice. I cannot imagine that being sent to one of the big five and them going, yeah, let's do it. Now, could Duncan stuff? Absolutely. Of course, because he's got this amazing voice. He's a tremendous author. He's such a goofball, that absolutely he'd get picked up, but womb, and I was like, look at what the world would have been missing out on, and how stellar that story is, and referred to and talked about all the time. So that is such a shining example of how great being indie is.
I'm excited that you're putting this event on, but are you going to have a table yourself to sell your own work there so people
No.
know?
Well, okay, okay, kind of. So, I have two tables. One is for the merch items,
Hmm.
and the other is for Matt will be there with his the Heretic debuts there. There's so many books debuting there. Oh my goodness. I
Hmm.
have like that is the biggest honor. This whole thing has been amazing, but when authors say, "Oh, I'm going to hold off or I'm going to push this through so I can debut it at your event," I don't know how many times I've cried because what, 8 years ago, 7, 8 years ago, I could only dream of meeting you guys. Like, so to have an author that I have admired and kind of been, in fangirled over specifically tell me I'm going to debut my next book at your event has been like, this isn't real. This isn't. So it's been pretty cool. So Matt will be at the other of the two tables, and then the other one will be Sammy Scott. Unfortunately, he's not physically able to make it in person, which, we love him and we wish he could, but are completely understanding. But I wanted him there. It was important that he was represented there. He's family. And so he's going to be the other part of that. So I will in that area have a few of my things. Oh, maybe.
Hmm.
I don't know. I haven't
You
decided. I
should.
feel like it's tacky. I feel like it's tacky because I'm not doing this for me.
No. Oh my gosh, no. Yeah, but that's okay. I think that the excitement that you're seeing of everybody waiting to debut their stuff is a direct reflection of the amount of work you've put into this. Because how long have you been working on it?
About three, let's see, a little less than 3 years, 2.5 years
That's a
that I've started
long.
looking and really like, I'm going to do this. I want to do this. So yeah, right around, right around that time. I do have a book coming out, at the same time. And I might have it there, but I'm going to do it as a pre-order. So
Hmm.
I would sign it. And if you want it personalized, you're going to have to track me down there because I'm going to be all over the place, hiding under tables, that kind of thing. So, um, I have my follow up to Duncan Ralston's Dead that I know I have gotten so many people. When are you finishing it? When are you following it up? What happens? And I'm sorry, blame my children. They don't let me do anything. It's coming. It's coming. So it's called Matt Shaw Sold His Soul. It picks up directly, like right after the end of Duncan Ralston is dead, and it continues that story and then goes directly into the next one. So,
That's exciting.
so I planned, because Matt Shaw is going to be at Massacre, I did plan on trying to have it there. I don't know. I feel like it's tacky.
Not at all. I mean, but even if it is, you deserve to be a little bit tacky because that's a lot of hard work. And you are just as much of an author as you are a reader. So,
Yeah, I
in
guess I
my
still haven't fully
opinion.
like um gotten used to people referring to me, as an author. I know you publish stuff, but to me, I feel like it's a hobby. Like, I love to bake. I love to grow. My raspberries are behind me. I love to grow and make my own jams and jellies and can things. So I feel like me baking muffins is the same as, calling me an author. I'm not a chef, but I don't know. Does
Hmm.
that make sense?
It does, but I would still call you a baker if you're making muffins.
Yeah, I love to cook. I love to bake, but no, I feel like calling me an author at this point feels a lot like calling me a car because I'm standing in a driveway.
Okay. Well,
I
then
don't
I'll
know.
have to think of another.
I guess it hasn't sunk in yet.
I'm gonna think on that one and come up with a different. We need like a subcategory of people that don't feel like authors but are
Yeah.
published. Like
Well, maybe it's a imposter syndrome. I still feel it
100%.
when people ask me for side. Oh, well, you see, they bought it on Amazon, and they'll come up to me and ask to have it signed, and I was like, why? I was
Yeah, it is a very surreal feeling when someone asks for your signature and you're like,
Isn't it? I get so nervous around you guys. It took me 5 minutes to come and talk to you in Monroe. Do you know that?
no.
I walked by your table 3 times and I was like, just talk
I
to
just
her.
assumed it was crowded. So we'd get these big waves of
Oh yeah,
people.
no, I was nervous.
Oh, that's silly.
I was so nervous. I was like, she probably has no idea who this creepy woman is who keeps peeking around the corner at her, trying to get the, guts up to come up and go, I'm Lisa Breanne and I want you to come to my event.
Not at I remember looking at you like, hey, that lady looks so familiar, and I am really bad with names all the time. And I
Why
was
is she
like, I know the
staring at me?
face. And there's nobody around me to tell me who, like, why do I know this lady? So no, I have to tell you, most exciting moment of my life, aside from getting my first publishing deal. Because I told my husband when I first saw you post about this event, I was
Yeah.
like, if she ever invites me to this, I don't care what we're doing. We're going. Like, it doesn't matter. And he said, okay. So then I called him after you left the table and I was like, you're never going to believe what just happened to me. And he was like, does this mean we're going to Oregon? And I was like,
Oh yeah.
oh
Yeah.
yeah, it does.
No, you were on my list. I had, before I announced it, I was like, I know that this year at least has to be invite only so I can keep it organized. And I wanted to make sure that it was people I'd work with. They had a good ethic, I needed to keep it. I need to
Drama
keep it org.
free.
Yeah, I needed to. And it was just the best route for me to take. Now, going forward, I may open up for applications, but I wanted to make sure that all of the Pacific Northwesters that I was familiar with, that I knew people would want to meet, have the opportunity to have their stuff signed that are out here. There's such a big, large fan group here that you guys were top of my list. I've been following you for a while. I was just too scared to talk to you.
Oh, that's nice. I've never had someone say that before. Well, I have 5 really weird questions
Okay.
that I've come up with, and we're going to try them out on you. Because
Okay.
if these don't go well, I'm going to have to think of 5 more, and you don't want to know how long this list
I hope
took
I've
me.
got good, entertaining answers.
I hope so too. Okay, in your opinion, what is the most important function of horror?
The most important function? Therapy. I think watching, for me anyway, watching horror growing up, I have since I was real as long as I can remember. It was a bonding thing for me and my mother. My mom was a single mom, and she, worked a lot, and she was so young when she had me that
That's like my mom.
well, she admits now, that like she goes, I had no idea what I was doing, and I couldn't be going out with my friends. I had a little girl at home, and so she loves horror. She used to pull me out. I was probably, gosh, as young as 3, and watch scary movies with her. And I remember watching, gosh, Pumpkinhead is like Angel Heart, Rawhead Rex, Near Dark, some of those just classic horror movies. And growing up later on, after having that foundation, that is probably one of my best memories that I'll never forget. She would have a glass of wine and I would have a cup of milk or juice, and we'd sit there. And she was always wonderful about explaining it isn't real. She's like, this is a mask. This is who this person's real name is. This is Lance Henriksen. This is, so she was really good. I never felt scared with her. It was my mommy daughter time, and it was special. So then as I got older, it was what I reverted to when things were hard growing up. School sucks. So I think it's therapeutic. There is something comforting in that adrenaline you get when you're scared. I don't know how else to describe it, but I think for me, a function of it is therapy, comfort.
I agree with that completely. So that's a good way to sum it up. Okay. What weird horror thing do you believe in? Like, that is true to you. We got ghosts, Bigfoot, aliens.
Oh, ghosts, 100%.
Okay.
Recently, one of my authors, when I'm doing the Guess the Author, one of my authors said they don't believe in ghosts, and I could not believe it. I was like,
that does
get
seem
out.
Weird.
Yeah, let's get the fuck out of here. I was like, you're a horror author. They said they don't believe in ghosts. I believe in ghosts. I do. I absolutely believe in them. Now, in the way that like they're portrayed a lot of the times, not necessarily. I believe that it's maybe more energy or grief or some part of you got left. So I don't necessarily think I don't like to think that people's souls, got stuck here, because God, it sucks
That's
here,
depressing.
like that's depressing,
Yeah.
but that a part of them. So I think it's more like that, an energy is
Okay.
created from where they left, like a shadow, or how when somebody leaves a room, you can still smell their perfume.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of my thought on it.
So, as this is not part of the questions, this is my question to you. So, you
Yeah.
said that you were in mortuary sciences before. Do you
Mhm.
feel like in those areas more chances of ghosts or less?
More. I had quite a few experiences that I can't explain that other people can't explain. Um, that was, God, I loved doing it. I still love that industry to this day. It is so special to me. It really shaped me. That whole, as weird as that sounds, it changed my perspective
Mm-hmm.
on everything. And I would say, yes. I would say yes or no. I think it depends on the person. And if you are open and receptive to it, it could be anywhere. I don't think that there's more necessarily at cemeteries or funeral homes. I would say, if anything, maybe hospitals.
Mm.
I would say hospitals. Yeah, but I did have several experiences throughout all the years there that I don't have an explanation for.
Sounds like a book. Sounds like you need to write that
I
down.
actually, okay, so yes, I kind of have one in that realm coming. Matt Seth Barnes did the cover, and
Ooh.
he's a few times like, hey, when are you gonna do a cover review? I'm like, hey, when I write it. Like, it's partway done. I have like 6 work in progresses right now that are in various stages. So one of these years it's gonna be like, hey, Lisa's coming out with 14 books this year.
You're to finish them all in the same year.
Yeah.
Okay, what is a horror movie that you think more people need to see?
Oh God, I have a couple. My favorite, and it still scares me to this day. I've seen it 20 times or more. I will have nightmares if I watch it every time. The Vanishing, not I think it's Japanese or the original. No, the one from America with Jeff Bridges, Kiefer Sutherland, Sandra Bullock, Nancy Travis, scares the daylights out of me.
I don't think I've seen that one.
Oh my word. It is, because it could really happen. It's not ghosty, goblin-y, monsters of any kind. It's like human monsters.
Mm-hmm.
And it could really happen. And it's so easy. And I have so many times been in a position where that could have happened to me because I'm a nice person and I, want to help people and talk to people. And I'm like, no, you be an asshole.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if they're an old lady or they have a broken bone. You don't ever help them into their car with anything. Don't do it. But no, it's a wonderful, if you haven't seen it, which I'm assuming maybe a lot of the
I have
community
not.
has. Okay. Oh my word. So that one, I would say that one. And, it's a cartoon, but The Last Unicorn is petrifying.
Oh yeah. That's
So
I
many
think
people have said that
it's
they
like a
haven't seen
dark
it.
fantasy almost.
Yes, because it's a cartoon. That still to this day, I've let my kids watch it, and I'm like, this is terrifying. Like this
Yeah.
is horrifying.
That's a
But
good
probably
one.
those two.
Okay, I like those. I have one to add to my list now. In your opinion, what is the best vessel for horror? Do you think reading it in books? Do you think storytelling, audiobooks? Do you
Oh, well, I
think
mean, obviously, living it. I mean, if you really want to.
That's true, yeah.
Um, Gosh, it depends on the story, to be honest. I think some are told better in a book,
Mm-hmm.
especially if it's, raining outside, it's late at night. Um, Nick Roberts loves to use random things around the house to scare you. He has scared me I still freak out at night if I have to go to my closet because of him. Like there's no way anybody broke into my house. Okay. It's not possible. We were home all day. My bedroom door's closed, but I still at night, if I need to go throw stuff in the dirty clothes, I will still, slowly. around the door. So in those instances, reading. But there are movies where you, like Insidious as an example, where I really feel like that's something you need to see visually.
Mm-hmm. I also think it depends on the how it's being delivered to you, because you
Yes.
can have someone telling you a scary story and it's scarier than anything you could actually see, or you
Yes.
can see a really shitty horror movie and be like, well, that's terrible in
It would have been
practice,
better
but
as a
in
book.
theory.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
I guess
absolutely. No, absolutely. So yeah, it just kind of, there's so many different facets to answer that question. And also depends on the graphics. How did they do the makeup? How did they do? And I've seen some really cheesy horror movies that were phenomenal. And the graphics were horrific, but the story was so good that it didn't matter. But
yeah.
Pumpkinhead is
Well,
a,
I feel like the graphics were because it was a
at the
practical.
time, now watching it, I'm like, oh, this is,
I still prefer any sort of terrible practical application of like
yeah.
makeup and all that over CGI any day.
Oh, I do. I love the old ones, the old classics, especially like the B ones were,
Mm.
they're still my go-to. They're still my favorite. I love watching them. Angel Heart, with, Mickey Rourke and Robert De Niro, that still like just gets under my skin.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't anything spectacular, but that story was told and the acting was so incredible that I feel like had that been a book, I don't know that it could have pulled it off that way.
I don't think I've seen that one either, so I'm gonna make a Lisa's
Lady, you need to
recommendations
make a
list.
list. Jacob's Ladder, the original Jacob's Ladder too.
I haven't convinced myself to watch that one. I think
Oh,
because I know it's sad.
yeah, it's so good. It's so good that it's kind of like one of those devastating, like, but you're so happy about it.
You're gonna be
I'm
sad but
devastated,
happy
but I
about it.
love it.
Okay, my last one. When you kind of touched on this earlier, what was your earliest horror memory as a child, or your first brush with horror that stood out to you?
Um, my mom, watching horror movies with me. Yeah, I was little, probably about the age that Jude is now, 3, 4 years old. And yeah, we lived in a tiny 1 bedroom house. This thing could fit in my bedroom now. It was so tiny. And so you could hear everything. And her and I shared the bedroom. It was just the two of us. And we backed like woods. There was woods all behind us. So you constantly had noise coming from there. And it was late at night and we had the most uncomfortable futon couch in our living room. And I would come out there and she'd pull me out. And I'd already been sleeping for a while, but the movie scared her. And so she didn't want to be alone. So she would come get, because, her toddler that's going to head, another person I get cuddling.
Yeah.
She'd come and get me and she would cuddle me up under a blanket and go get me, a milk or juice or something. And she had her glass of wine, or whatever she was drinking at the time. And we just cuddle up and watch. And it just is one of my best memories. And I loved it. I loved horror. I thought this was so cool. It was
Mm-hmm.
just, yeah. So I don't know if it was circumstance or the actual movies themselves that I didn't understand, at that age yet, but maybe a little bit of all of it. The storytelling. I love the storytelling.
That's neat. I feel like a lot of female people in horror, that was their first like delve into it, was their mothers. Come watch this probably inappropriate movie with me, you
Yeah.
toddler. And
Well, and nowadays, my kids, I've introduced them to a lot of those movies. And so many people I know have been like, what are you doing to their brain? What's that gonna, you get the side eyes, but I grew up that way. And I feel like in some ways horror prepared me for difficult situations as I got older.
mm-hmm.
I think that, you get to see a different side of humanity in those
Mm-hmm.
so later on, when you are faced with certain circumstances and situations, bullies, in school at a young age, it's not out of the blue. You're
Mm-hmm.
more prepared for it. You understand people are going to be assholes. People are, going through their own stuff at home and they're going to take it out on you. And I feel like there's just a lot of layers with horror.
Horror
And
is an onion.
yes, it is. Because there's so many things are horror that people don't consider horror. Oh, I'm not a horror lover. Like, well, grief. You love sad movies. That's horror. You know, it really can encompass everything. It's so versatile.
I agree. I think that's a good way to put it. I also think it's fun that like you watch a horror movie, I guarantee you that guy's having a worse day than what you're having.
Yes, there is something just comforting. There is. Matt wrote a story that resonated with me in his book Candy Dish, and most people would not consider it horror, and it was. It was like, imagine, just sit back and imagine this, and it was such a perfect example. It's called Can't Complain. It's about a guy that every day he leaves his house and you run into people, you go get coffee, and how's your day? Can't complain. But he goes and he messes up everybody's day. He has, not to ruin the story for anybody who hasn't seen it, because I'm about to ruin it, so spoilers. But he steals a lady's rent money out of her purse, and he has a lady's cat put down. And it's just these little things that anybody could do if you're a horrible person, but then he guarantees that his day is better than theirs, and he just goes around, does it. And that's the story. And I was like, this is horrifying, because there are probably people out there that, like, go by and your car's scratched, or your window's broken, or your house got egged, or a package got stolen. There are people out there like that. And I thought, that is horrifying. That is horrifying.
Well, yeah, you've given me something else to be concerned about now.
Right?
Someone else is getting.
Mary Danner posted something the other day that made me laugh so hard about going to the bathroom with the door open. Who does it? And everybody's like, yeah, if I'm home alone, oh, it's great. Yeah. Well, then Jill asked me the same thing today, because I'm home alone for the first time in so long. This is incredible. I've been loving it. She goes, are you going to poop with the door open? And so I go, no, here's my reason. This is the most vulnerable you are in your life. Unless you're like a woman and you're giving birth, you are never going to be, actually, I probably could have ripped someone's head off while I was doing that, but you are never more vulnerable than you are when you are on the toilet. So in my opinion, no, I go in, home alone or not, I lock the door, because that would be the exact time an intruder would choose to come in, and I don't want to die on the toilet. So that's my theory. That's my thought on that is, no, I lock the door.
That's a good plan. I like that reasoning.
Yeah, no, I am not dying with my pants down, damn it. Like, it ain't happening.
Elvis style.
Yeah. There's going to be there's so much more information and more photos coming of all the different merch items that are going to be there. I have Taylor Gibbs is currently working on an item, you guys. Oh my goodness. Let me tell you, it is incredible. It is amazing. I think Desiree's seen a bit of it so far that's coming, but it's really, I posted it in our group chat. She's working on it, and you guys, it's going to be awesome. It's a merch item, and it is really, really cool. So I look forward to showing you that. Miss Benton has now shipped me all the tumblers, and they'll be coming soon. So I'll be able to post photos of those. I've had many wonderful people like just offering like, hey, how can I help you? And it's been wonderful. God, this whole experience has been so great. It's stressful, but you guys have all made it wonderful. The authors that are coming, the vendors that are coming have all been just so supportive. And I know that I can reach out to any one of them. Hey, I need some help with this. And they've been there to talk me off the ledge a few times. Derek Austin especially has been my rock kind of through this whole thing and encouraging me the times I've melted down and been like, I can't do it. I'm a nobody. It's gonna be, so.
I think we'll have some recordings happening at the event too. It sounds like there's a few other people.
Yes, I have a lot of podcasters. Publishers are sending people. And yes, anybody watching that wants to send representation to walk around, do a quick little interview with the authors, post stuff, pictures, have at it, have fun. That's a big, important thing to me more than anything else. I hope all the authors that come do phenomenal and you guys sell out. But I just want everybody to have a good time. I want this to feel like a big family reunion. and people that haven't gotten to meet each other get to do that. And the fans that are in the Pacific Northwest that aren't able to travel to other locations are able to meet some of these idols of theirs that they just love. That's been wonderful getting those messages. I've had people cry, like thanking me because they get to meet so and so and so and so. And that is like, there's no
That's
words
cool.
to express my gratitude on how wonderful and incredible this whole thing has been. So thank you to everyone. I'm eternally grateful, and hopefully it goes off well and I maintain my sanity and I can do it again.
Was you only got 4 months, right? Is that we?
Okay, so it's mid-June, so July, August, September, 3.5. 3.5. Oh, I don't want to talk about that. Like,
Three
oh,
and a
it's so
half.
close. I'm getting there. It's almost ready. It is almost ready. Oh, do you mind if 2 more seconds?
No,
I was
go
going to
ahead.
bring it up and I forgot. A raffle is starting. I am so sorry. It is delayed much longer than I wanted it to be, but it has taken me longer than I had anticipated to kind of organize everything. So it should be starting here by the beginning of July. So if you haven't bought your tickets yet, or your kind of, travel costs, a room is going to be part of the raffle for the entire weekend.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, so it's a Friday, Saturday night. It's a really nice room. You'll see photos of it. It'll be going up here soon. I'll be talking more about it, along with a large gift card. It can be used towards a room, towards a restaurant, towards activities. It's a Timberline Lodge gift card that you guys can use for any activity there. And there are a lot of cool activities. They do ghost tours. You can do going riding up the mountain. There's hikes. My goodness, the list is incredible. You guys are going to wish you stayed longer because it's so cool. So my event is like the least cool thing there, to be honest.
I mean, I don't think so. Okay, so that's and you post about the raffle and all that. What's the name of the Facebook group?
Oh, it's Across the Black Veil presents Massacre on the Mountain. Yes, Across the Black Veil. So that's the Facebook group. I didn't create, like I said, it's just me. So I didn't create like a TikTok for it, and I didn't create an Instagram or anything. It's all kind of just on me. So if you guys follow me, I copy all the posts into my feed as well, and then I share them on Instagram. So give me a follow, and you're also going to see stupid stuff about my kids. Sorry, but you'll see a lot of updates for Massacre on the Mountain as well. And keep an eye out for upcoming events. I'll be starting to talk about those as well in various other locations. And I'm also going to poll you guys to see if you want to do it again at the Timberline, because I know there was a lot of you that wanted to come and weren't able to make it this year or have tables. That will be an option next year. I'm going bigger is my plan. I did not expect this to be as big as it was, and it did. I wanted 20 to 25 authors starting, and now I'm at 57.
Wow.
So I've had to expand and make accommodations throughout the last few months. So things, got a little crazy and harried there for a bit, but next year I'm planning on going bigger. I don't want to have to turn anybody down. So I want to make sure that everybody that wants to be there gets to be there. And come and have just a good time and check out the Pacific Northwest. We're beautiful. Thank you so much for supporting me in this, because it means a lot. I've been so scared.
It's gonna be awesome. I'm like super excited for you. And thank you for being my first guest on this weird little segment. It didn't get that weird. We stayed pretty safe. Yeah.
No, you didn't ask any weird questions. I kind of was expecting, like strange.
I gotta get weirder?
Yeah, I would say get weirder, because it wasn't, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, give me a question. It's the weirdest thing you can ask off the top of your head. We gotta have a weird one in there.
Would you rather be eaten alive by sharks or crabs?
Sharks, quicker.
I agree. That was my first thought too. But
I would say
crabs, I guess if you were outside.
I would be like a really painful pinch to death. I feel like that would be, I think shark would be quicker. Just because if my death is inevitable, like I can't fight this off, like, yeah, I think, yeah, to me, it would be the difference between you're going to bleed out pretty quick. You get a shark bite, you're going to bleed out pretty quick. Is it going to be awful and you're going to be petrified? Yeah. But to me, the crab one would be like death by 1,000 paper cut type thing where, yeah.
I guess that's not really much of a toss-up. I'm gonna have to think of some harder ones
Yeah,
because
yeah.
no one wants to die over 24 hours as opposed to 5 minutes, I think.
I've got one for you.
What?
I'm gonna ask you. Okay, it's not super weird, but what would you rather? You can only eat your favorite food for the rest of your life. That's all you're allowed to eat, but you can't taste it. Or you can only eat someone else's regurgitated food, but you could taste it.
uh, well, I don't really want to eat regurgitated anything.
No.
So I don't value my taste buds that much. I'd have to go with the flavorless favorite.
Flavorless.
Just
So I
the
feel like
thought
after
of
a while that'd be
somebody
so
else.
depressing.
Yeah, well, yeah, but at least it wouldn't taste like barf.
It would taste like barf. How about just chewed food instead of regurgitated?
Who though? That
Who?
would.
Well, like a kid, like your one of your kids, not like, a homeless person.
Okay. Uh, no, I'd still go with the flavorless.
The flavorless.
Yeah, I don't. That's freaking me out. I know where my kids' mouths have been. I don't want them spitting baby birding me any food in
Oh,
there.
no.
Well,
There's some
thank
Matt
you.
Shaw books that I
I'm
can't
gonna
read. I
write
set
that one
that down.
down.
What?
That's a good weird one. I'm gonna steal that one.
Yeah.
For the
Oh, I
next.
got all sorts of weird ones. My son loves to do this, like the would you rathers, or what would you do if this happened to you? And like, my son is loaded. He's constantly asking me these weird, creepy, why would you ask me that? Like, and it's always at like 6:50 in the morning when we're driving to school. And
You're like, I'm not ready for
I'm
these
not awake. I
consequences.
haven't hardly had any coffee yet. And it's something like, would you rather, poop out of your mouth or, just I look over at him and I'm like, what do you dream about? Like, because he gets up in the morning and he's just asking me all these, or he wants to do math problems. I'm like, get the fuck out of here.
I feel like your son's got some undisclosed issues.
He's so good.
To
He's
do
a good
math.
inspiration when I'm writing. I pull him in when I'm writing and going, I can't, the scene isn't hitting. Help me. And his ideas are incredible. He has no interest in writing, but I told him, I was like, if you, as you get older, you want to write, dude, I'm like, you'd be a really good extreme horror author because there's a scene he helped me out with in Duncan Ralston is Dead, actually, to make more extreme.
Oh?
Yeah. And I was struggling with it. And then I don't know if you've read Nettie Potocalypse. It was a collaboration with a bunch of, basically the world ends by a neti pot. I had to write a chapter in it, and there was an exploding penis scene, and that was my son. So if you read my part of that book, that was my kiddo that helped me with that one because I don't do graphic very well. I'm a 13-year-old boy who giggles at those things. So those gross, exploding penis. But that was he helped me with that scene on upping it because it was a gross book and mine was very dull, my area. And I was like, I don't know how to do this. And he was like, I got you, Mom.
I got you.
Make his penis explode. It's like, so I did. And let my mom read it. And my mom goes, she's all grossed out. And I was like, that's your grandkid.
That's the legacy.
It's a legacy.
She started.
She started. Yeah, she's been a huge support. She'll be at Massacre as well.
Oh, fun.
So everyone will get to see where this mess came from. And
are you
like, I go, if any of you don't like me, blame her. Like, it's all her.
Are the kids coming too? So we can
yes. So for a little bit. So their dad is bringing them down on Friday. He's hauling some stuff down for me as well because I have so much I'm hauling down. So I'm having to do big cars and loaded it up, and I've got a lot of my personal life help coming. So everybody will kind of get to see and meet the people that I talk about all the time and that inspire me, with my writing. My best friend will be there. She's a huge supporter of me, and she's not a horror fan at all. She's a Nicholas Sparks Hallmark Channel. She is the sunflower to my thorny rosebush. We're so vastly different. Her house is all yellow and white. Mine's all dark purple and black. We're very, very different, but she is she will read it. Even though she's not a horror fan, she reads my stuff. She's so supportive. I did a lot of weird faces, but couldn't do any of this without her. And so, yes, my kids are going to come. So everybody, please bring your kids. Actually, it is a family-friendly event. Maybe not all the book covers that'll be there, but I do have gift bags that for all the kiddos, 12 and under.
That's fun.
I put together some fun gift bags for and specialized coloring pages that Miss Asia designed. And so I've had, so there'll be stuff for the kids to do there. So if you bring your kiddos, please, my kiddos will be there for a short time on Saturday. So, well, Journey may be a little longer because Shaw's going to be there and they're super close. So she's going to be sitting, hanging out with him the whole time. But yeah, my kiddos will be there. So if you want, bring your kiddos, authors, bring your kiddos. There is plenty for them to do. And like I said, it's an amazing venue. So you will not be bored.
All right. Massacre on the Mountain, a family-friendly event. You heard it
Weirdly enough. Yeah, I wanted that
from
to be.
Lisa herself.
Yeah, I wanted, you want to get kids into horror, right? So you got to start them young. So like, if they come and they love this is so cool. And we do have some authors who are coming who do have kids books as well. So Jeff Strand, he writes some kids books. Matt Shaw, John Ward is going to be there. Trying to think if there's off the top of my head any others. Honestly, Nyberg. Like if your kid is a fan of like H.P. Lovecraft, like, you're kind of getting into that Poe, young adult. Andrew Nyberg, man, his stuff, when I was young like that, I would have lapped that up. I still love his stuff, but he's a really good introduction, I think, to various genres in horror, because he's not your standard monster, gore type of thing. He's the unsettling,
creeping dread sort
creeping,
of.
yeah. Can you think of anybody that would be for kids? I'm drawing a blank.
No, John Ward was the one that came to mind first.
Yeah, John Ward. Jeff Strand has ones for kids. Like Matt Shaw has ones for kids. Bert and Marie Lestrange, Crimson Curiosities. She has
one for kids also.
One for kids as well. Yeah, S is for serial killers, I think is what it is. I have it. My daughter loved it. Oh my goodness, I'm drawing a blank. So, but there will be books for your kiddos, depending, on their age and things like that, and your comfortability on what they can read. But John Ward is great. His Scareville series is fantastic, and he should have the new one should be there as well.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, that's exciting. Okay. Thank you, Lisa, for coming on. This might get weird, even though it didn't get weird, and I will see you in September.
We're going to have to do it again and make it like really uncomfortable for people to watch.
Deal.